Welcome to Stay Home and Yoga Strong, another episode together. Thank you so much for being here, for choosing to take this time for yourself. So important, and good job. Really even just sitting on your mat, whether you do the movements or not, to me that's a win. So whatever you decide to do for yourself today, whatever movements speak to you, that's great. I'm just going to grab this thing and play along as much as you want. This is all for you. All for you. So my intention for this hour for us, and you can choose to accept this invitation, or if you have another intention in mind, is to center ourselves, to be in our center and to be in this present moment. In this moment, there's no past, there's no future. So if there's anxiety or fears or any energy you have around things from the past or things yet to come, staying in your center and staying in this moment, there's nothing else. There's nothing else but this moment, which I think is really the power and the beauty of yoga or any other mindful practice, whether it's movement or not, but any mindful practice takes us into our center, so we're not hanging out either in the past or the future. So join me in this journey, however you want it to be. We're going to start seated. So finding yourself in a comfortable seated position. If sitting cross-legged is hard for you to sit up tall, sitting on something, lifting your bottom up a little bit, will give you maybe a little bit more freedom to grow your spine tall. So take a moment to make yourself comfortable. A way that you can lift your spine up to the ceiling and also at the same time relax. So you're not holding on, right? Finding your center seated. Maybe closing your eyes or softening your gaze and taking a moment to just notice the inflow and outflow of your breath. Without changing it, without judgment, just notice where you are today. And then maybe notice where you feel like you're holding tension. Where are you holding things that you don't need? Places where you're holding that don't serve you. Maybe around your eyes, or maybe your jaw is tense, or your mouth, or maybe your hands. And see with your exhale if you can release that tension, extending your exhales longer than your inhales. See if you can relax your belly on those exhales. And same with the inhale. See if you can inhale with your belly and your chest. Rib cage is expanding. And full exhalation all the way to the bottom. Let your shoulders soften away from your ears. At the same time, growing your spine tall, crown of your head reaching up to the ceiling. One more inhale. Open your mouth and sigh it out, releasing all of the tension. Okay, we're going to start with simple movements to get our spine limbered up, moving through all of the different ways the spine likes to go naturally. Through easy movements here to begin. Through flexion and extension, clasp your hands together, knuckles draw forward, separating your shoulder blades, tucking your chin and your nose in towards your navel and rounding out your spine. So your nose is trying to go inside your belly button and pressing your knuckles toward the front of your mat. As you inhale, lifting your chin and chest, keeping your low ribs down, maybe flipping your palms up to the ceiling, lifting up through your armpits, but keeping your low ribs down. So we're not arching in our low back. It's opening through the chest and the front of your throat. And exhale, rounding again. Press your knuckles toward the front, your back towards the back, separating your shoulder blades and round in towards your navel. Again, sitting up nice and tall, flip your palms up to the sky, opening through your chest, keeping your low ribs down. And release your hands. Right hand down on your mat, left fingertips reach up and tipping over to the right, pressing down with your right palm so your left hip stays down. Finding a nice side, a lateral stretch through your spine. Side stretch here. Coming back through center and switching sides. Inhale, lifting straight up And exhale, tipping over, pressing down with the left palm. Coming back to center, nice easy twist. Left hand on your right knee, right hand behind. Inhale tall first, and with a length in your spine, begin to gently twist, gazing over your right shoulder. So your low ribs, mid ribs, and then upper ribs, neck and head. In that order, neck and head are last, nice and gentle. And then switching sides. Inhale tall first, and exhale nice and gentle, twist over to the left. Coming back through center. Hands behind your hips, lifting your chin and chest. Maybe your ribs lift up too into a little bit of a back bend if it feels okay in your low back. And exhale, forward fold over your bent knees, using your hands for support as you go down. Rolling yourself up and then switching your legs. If they're crossed one way, cross them the opposite. One more time, inhale, lifting up into a bitty back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Roll yourself up and sweep yourself around, if you're not ready, and lie down on your mat. All the way down with your feet down and knees up. We're going to warm up our core now. Hands clasped behind your head, elbows slightly lifted. Those low ribs are pulling down towards your pelvis and your mid-back is pressing down into the mat. So from here, the core is already on. Inhale here, exhale, lift chin and chest up toward the ceiling, keeping your chin untucked. Core is on, those low ribs stay down as you lower your head and shoulders back down, and exhale, press up. So the low down isn't a rest down. Maybe your head and shoulders don't even touch, they just graze the floor. As you inhale, exhale, press up, and 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and stack your knees over your hips, and we'll continue to do the same thing for 5 more. Gonna get our music going. Exhale as you lift up. Last 2. Keep those low ribs down. Last 1. Release your head. Extend your right leg up and extend your left leg long. Your heel can be pressing down into the floor, which activates your hamstrings, or you can hover your leg, really using your core to keep your mid-back pressed down to the floor. So those are 2 different options. You can also bend that left knee and press your foot into the floor. So there's a 3rd option. Whatever you choose, we're gonna exhale as we lift up, inhale lower, and exhale, twist the left ribs towards the right thigh. And that's the movement. Straight up and across the body. 3 more. Straight up, cross over, and 1 more. And switch sides. Left leg extends, the right leg. There's the options. You can hover your leg, press your heel down, or bend your knee and press your foot down. Whatever works best for your back, so you're not arching into the floor. So same thing, lift up, inhale lower, exhale ribs toward the opposite thigh. Two more. Last one. And back to center. Press both your feet straight up. We're going to press our heels up 3 times toward the ceiling, lifting our tailbone, using the strength of our lower abs. So press up, 2, 1, and then slowly lower your heels down to the floor in a hollow body hold. Only so far as you can go and keep your low back, mid back on the floor. So maybe your knees are bent the whole time, or maybe your feet don't come down very far, but go slow enough that you can pay attention to your spine. It's not about the legs, it's about your spine. Draw your knees into your chest, and we'll do that again. So press up for 3, 2, 1, and slow down like you're pressing your heels through molasses. Stay really focused on your center, on your core, on your spine. Knees in. Let's do that one more time. Press up for 3, 2, 1, and slowly lower your heels down Only so far as you can focus on your spine into the floor. Maybe lift head and shoulders and hold here for 3, 2, 1, and done. Knees into your chest, give yourself a hug. Maybe rock side to side a little. Maybe open your mouth and sigh that tension out. Keep coming back to releasing the tension. So it's the release, it's the contraction and then the release. Keep your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg long and relaxed. Circling your ankle, one direction and then the other. Next inhale, open your knee up to the right, keeping your left hip grounded. And exhale, cross the body, right knee all the way over to the left. Nice, gentle, full body twist here. We're still warming up the spine. Coming back to center, both knees hug in. Left knee stays in, right leg extends, same thing. Circling your ankle, both directions. Inhale, open your knee to the left. And exhale, bring it all the way across your body. Come back to center, hug both knees in and rock yourself all the way up and over onto all fours, finding tabletop position. And we'll do a couple rounds of cat-cow. So everything's stacked, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, drop your belly, tailbone lifts, chest lifts. If this tweaks your low back, keep some tension in your core. Keep those low ribs down. If it's okay to drop your belly and find full extension and then full flexion, draw your nose into your navel, press your palms into the mat, separate your shoulder blades into cat pose. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. See how smooth you can make this movement. Moving your spine nice and gently and feeling the articulation between each of your vertebrae. Coming back to neutral spine, press your hips towards your heels into child's pose. Walk your fingertips toward the front of your mat, maybe pressing your palms into the mat so you're activating through the armpits, warming up those triceps. We got some push-ups coming in our future. But don't worry about the future. Stay in this moment. Be centered in this. Big inhale, long exhale. Coming back into tabletop, threading the needle, further opening through our spine. Keep your left palm down on your mat. Inhale, sweep your right fingertips up, maybe your gaze follows. And exhale, sweep your right wrist behind your left all the way down onto your mat. So your shoulder, maybe the side of your head touches down. Options here, press down into your mat with your left palm, maybe giving yourself more of a twist, or maybe lift your left arm up and over to the small of your back, or maybe find the front of your opposite hip, opening through the front of the top shoulder and stretching the back of the bottom. Inhale in the twist, and exhale, unwind. Counter twist, right fingertips up, back down to tabletop, and we'll switch sides. Left fingertips sweep up, and exhale, sweep all the way across your mat. Maybe the shoulder and the head come down. Options again, pressing down with the right hand, or lifting up and over to the small of your back, or maybe find the front of the opposite hip. Inhale here. Exhale, unwind. From tabletop, a round of cat-cow to find our center in our spine. Finding our first downward dog from here. Curl your toes under, hover your knees. Shifting your hips back towards your heels. Hips lift up high as your chest presses toward your thighs. So your knees are bent. First round is about spinal extension. Finding that length from your tailbone, down your spine, crown of your head, all the way down to your wrists and fingertips. Maybe walking your dog, starting to straighten one leg and then the other, bending one knee and then the other. Finding some spaciousness in the backs of your legs, nice and slowly. Settling into a still downward dog. Lifting up onto your toes. Hips lift a little higher as your chest presses towards your thighs. And as you exhale, float your heels down to your mat. One more time, up on your toes. Hips lift high, chest presses back. Exhale, float your heels down. from here, floating forward into plank, top of a push-up. You can always come down to your knees. Draw your hands towards each other and towards your toes. So everything's coming in nice and strongly toward midline. Inhale here and exhale back to downward dog. So floating back and forth a few times. Inhale forward into plank, nice and strong. Draw your hands together and towards your toes. Keeping that strength through your armpits, press back to downward dog. Again, floating forward. We're gonna do 3 push-ups. You can come down to your knees, you can stay on your toes. Inhale down and exhale up. Stay nice and strong for your plank so your belly button moves with the rest of your body. You're not dropping your belly down towards the floor. If you're dropping, come down to your knees and back down to downward dog. Big exhale here. Again, floating forward into plank from knees or toes. Inhale at the top and exhale slowly all the way down to your belly. Uncurl your toes, press your palms down into your mat, lifting your chest forward and up into baby cobra. Elbows are pulling together and down towards your waist, opening through your chest, and exhale down. Again, one more time, just like that. Inhale, rise up through the crown of your head, heart lifting forward, shoulders down, away from your ears. And exhale down. Curl your toes under, press up through knees or toes, back to downward dog. Floating forward into plank. One more little push for our core here. Separate your feet fairly wide, maybe as wide as your mat. Hands come together slightly, a little more narrow than shoulder width. And then draw everything towards midline. Palms together and towards your toes. Nice and strong through your core. Hip taps. So right hand taps the right hip and back down. You can do this from your knees too. Core stabilization here. Switching sides. Left hand, left hip. See if you can do this without shifting in your hips at all. One more time each side. Right to right. Settle in strong. Left to left. And back to plank. Inhale at the top and exhale down, nice and slow through a back bend. Baby cobra again, or maybe full cobra, extending your arms. Maybe up dog, pressing down with the bottoms of your feet to lift your kneecaps. Letting your hips sink, shoulders away from your ears. And exhale back to downward dog. You can come down to your belly, you can come down to your knees, or hinge at your hips. Big exhale here. Bend your knees deeply. Walk your way to the top of your mat, finding forward fold. First time round, knees are bent, just like that first downward dog. So you're focusing on the length of your spine, letting gravity hold the top of your head. Really let gravity take your whole head so you can feel the length in your spine. Hands on your shins for support. Inhale to a flat back, gazing straight down. Noticing the back of your neck nice and long. And exhale into chair. Hips come down, chest lifts forward, arms come forward, feet and knees are pulling away from one another, turning on the strength of your legs. Press down to rise up. Big inhale, sweep your arms up, palms touch. Exhale, palms to your heart. Coming back to your center, back to grounded in yourself. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, forward fold all the way down. Release your head and neck. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to downward dog. Taking your time in these transitions. There's no rush to be anywhere. All there is right now. Next, inhale, lift your right heel up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest, nose to knee. Hips are low in plank, so your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. Using your core to draw your thigh closer to your chest. Inhale, up and back, three-legged dog. And exhale, bring your right foot between your hands, staying in a low runner's lunge, the back knee is lifted, drawing your feet together. Maybe you can use just the strength of your legs. Maybe your fingertips are just hovering, and your chest isn't collapsed on your thigh. And pressing your thigh down, lifting your chest up so everything is strong. Slowly lowering the back knee down. Inhale with the front knee bent, and exhale into half splits. Your hips move towards your back heel. Nose draws towards your front leg. Rocking forward, inhale. And rocking back, exhale. Rocking forward, draw your feet together and the back knee lifts again. Same thing, maybe your fingertips are hovering or maybe they're down for support. The back knee taps down and lifts up. 2 more. Tap down, press up. Tap down, press up. Draw your feet together. Hands down on your mat, front foot to meet the back. In plank for knees or toes. 3 push-ups. Slow down, quick up. Slow down, quick up. So it's inhale down and exhale up. So you can either move through a back bend or go straight to downward dog. You can always skip these back bends. You can always skip the push-ups too. And back to downward dog. Second side, lift the left heel up and back. Knee to chest, nose to knee. Plank arms, hips are low. Core is strong. Draw your thigh up to your chest, rounding your back, just like cat pose. Inhale up and back, 3-legged dog. And exhale, bring your left foot between your hands. Low runner's lunge. Drawing your feet together. Maybe lifting up so your fingertips are just hovering. Nice and easy, that back knee comes down. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. One more time, each direction. Exhale back. Rocking forward, back toes curl under, and that back knee lifts up again. Draw your feet together. Same option, knees or fingertips maybe hover as your back knee taps down and presses up. 2 more. Hands on your mat, front foot to meet the back. 3 more push-ups here. Slow down, quick up as you exhale. From plank, inhale at the top and exhale all the way down to your belly. Nice and slow. Tops of your feet press down into the mat. Those low ribs are pulling down towards your pelvis. Arms are extended slightly wider than your shoulders. Lift them up. Keep your gaze down, length through the back of your neck. Grab that imaginary bar and exhale, drive your elbows down to your waist and slightly behind. So your shoulder blades are coming together. Your chest is opening, just like baby cobra. Inhale, reach. Exhale, drive and lift, keeping your nose down. If the lift bothers your low back, keep your nose close to the floor. Inhale, exhale, drive. Keep your core on. Maybe your glutes and hamstrings are working as you press the tops of your feet down like you're trying to press through the floor. Let's do 2 more. Last one, squeeze. Hands down either side of your ribs. Curl your toes under from knees or toes. Press back to downward dog. Big exhale here. Bend your knees, make your way to the top of your mat. Forward fold, release your head. Release your neck, maybe gazing upside down between your thighs or your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, finding chair, that nice strong chair, everything pulling away. Feet, knees. Press down to rise up. Big inhale. Exhale, palms to your heart center. Inhale, sweep up, and exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms and step back to downward dog. Next, inhale, lift your right heel up and back. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow and pause. Option to extend into a single leg plank. Right knee back to right elbow and back to three-legged dog. Inhale. Nice. Exhale, bring your right foot between your hands, coming up into a high lunge. So back heel is lifted, but pressing down towards the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, hands down to your mat, back to that low runner's lunge, drawing your feet together. Left hand stays down. Inhale, twisting open, so right fingertips lift up. Check to make sure your right knee isn't pressing out. Keep it into the midline. We're going to twist to the other way, so the back heel pivots, so the whole of your foot is on the floor. Right hand down, left arm lifts. Stretch, lifting up towards the ceiling. From here, press down through your front heel up into warrior two. So the front knee is bent, pressing towards pinky toe side. From here, we're going to move into high lunge. So the back heel will pivot up and everything comes square towards the front of your mat. Arms lift up high. And exhale, project your torso forward. So more of the weight, a lot of your weight is in that front foot. Maybe there's very little weight in those back toes. Draw your feet together. Maybe hands at your heart center. The back foot's gonna come to meet the front foot into chair pose. So both knees are bent. Your feet are fairly close together, maybe even touching. Chest is lifted, core is on. Feet and knees are still pulling away from one another, even if they're close together. Can you lower your chair an inch? Keep breathing. Keep coming back to your center, to this moment. Inhale here and exhale, forward fold. Separating your feet back to hip width apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to downward dog. Same thing, second side. Next inhale, lift your left heel up and back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow and pause. Option, single leg plank. Extend your left leg long. Knee back towards your elbow. Inhale, up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your left foot between your hands, coming up into a high lunge. Nice and slow and controlled through all of these transitions. Back heels pressing down towards the mat. Draw your feet together. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to your mat. Low runner's lunge. Same thing, second side. Right hand down, left arm up and twist. Twisting to the other side. The back heel pivots down. The whole of your foot's on your mat. Left hand down, right arm lifts. From here, press down with that foot to lift up into warrior two. Front knee is bent and feet are pulling together. Shifting into high lunge, that back heel pivots. Hips, shoulders, arms square to the front of your mat. Bend in that front knee, length through that back leg. Inhale here and exhale, project forward. Maybe most of the weight on your front foot. And draw your feet together. Maybe hands at your heart. That back foot's gonna come next to the front foot into chair. Woo. Feet and knees are pulling away like you're trying to rip your mat in half. Maybe hips lower slightly. Keeping your core on and your chest lifted. Inhale here and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms and step back to downward dog. Exhale when you get there. From here, float forward into plank from knees or toes. Let's do 3 push-ups. Slow down. Exhale, quick up. Inhale, slow down. Exhale, quick up. One more. From the top of your plank, inhale. Exhale all the way down to your belly. Back to those same rows. Tops of your feet press down. Arms extend, cores on. Grab that bar. Inhale. Exhale, drive your elbows down and behind, lifting and opening through your chest. Inhale, exhale, drive. So the crown of your head keeps lifting towards the front and toes keep pointing towards the back. How long can you make your body? Long and strong. Let's do 3 more. Last one, squeeze and hold at the bottom. Maybe extend your arms so your fingertips are pointing towards your toes. Maybe the tops of your feet lift up. Maybe you can lift your chest a little bit higher and hold in locust pose. Notice how your body moves with your breath. One more big inhale and exhale, release. Hands on either side of your ribs. Curl your toes under. We'll meet back in downward dog. From knees or toes all the way back with a big exhale. Bend your knees, walk your way, or hop, skip or jump up to forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, chair. Press down to rise up. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms and step back to downward dog. Right heel lifts, up and back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest, nose to knee. 2 more lifts like that. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, up and back. Nose to knee. Inhale, up and back, and exhale, bring your right foot between your hands, coming up into a high lunge. And walk your back toes forward just a little bit so there's a little bend in your back knee. The back knee comes down and hovers. And lift up and drive your elbows down to your waist and slightly behind your chest, keeping your core on so those low ribs stay down. When your arms go up, the ribs want to go up. Keep them down. Really drive your elbows down. Take advantage of this movement. 2 more. Last one. High lunge, arms lift up, and exhale, projected lunge. Draw your feet together. More weight in that front foot. Holding here. Low body stays just how it is. Inhale up to a high lunge. And exhale, project back forward. So arms tracking over your ears is one option. Another is hands at your heart. Another is arms at your side, drawing your fingertips towards your toes, just like we did with locust. High lunge, inhale. Exhale, project, drawing your feet together. From here, moving into warrior 2. So from high lunge, the back foot pivots and the arms find warrior 2, arms stretching away from one another. Feet are pulling together. Front knee is pressing towards pinky toe side. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Exhale, bend. Just like that again. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, and draw your feet together. Inhale, straighten both legs. I'm going to turn around. Both heels in, toes out. So you're looking at the long length of your mat. Both knees bend, tracking over your feet into a goddess squat, or squat of the gods. Keeping your chest lifted, so you're not pitching forward. You're staying in your center. Spine is tall, long, vertical. Inhale, straighten both legs. And exhale, squat down. Maybe a little bit lower. Maybe draw your heels together. See what that feels like. Inhale up and exhale down. Let's do one more just like that. Inhale up, exhale down. straightening both legs, hands on your hips. Inhale, lifting your chest, and exhale, forward fold. Hips press back, releasing your head and neck down towards the mat. Maybe releasing your hands. Maybe they're at the mat, maybe they don't reach. Maybe they're holding onto your legs for support. Walking both hands to frame your front foot into that low runner's lunge at the top of your mat. Front foot to meet the back. In plank, we have 10 mountain climbers. So it's a slow walk up the mountain, driving your knee towards your chest with intention. Nice and slow so everything stays solid. There's no bounce in your hips, there's no bounce in your shoulders. Pausing in plank, let's do 3 push-ups from knees or toes. 3, 2, back to plank. You can do this from your knees. Another round of those slow, deliberate mountain climbers. If you're doing it from your knees, drive your knee towards your chest. Still uses your core. One more each side. 3 more push-ups. You can always take child's pose or do fewer or do more. Move through a back bend or straight to downward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Next, inhale, left heel lifts up and back. Left knee comes into your chest. And again, inhale up. Exhale, knee to chest. One more time, just like that. Inhale up. Knee to chest. Inhale all the way up, and exhale, left foot comes between your hands. Coming up into a high lunge. Those back toes walk forward a little bit, little bend in that back knee. That back knee drives down, and then the elbows pull you up. Inhale, exhale, drive. Drawing your feet together, really driving your elbows down to your waist and slightly behind. Last 2. Inhale your arms, high lunge, and exhale, project. Same options, arms at your ears, hands at your heart, or arms at your side. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, project forward. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, project forward, maybe even more weight on your front foot. Inhale, high lunge. And then finding warrior 2, that back foot pivots and front knee bends. Feet draw together, arms pull away. Inhale, straighten your front leg, and exhale, bend. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, and exhale. Last time. Straighten your front leg, heels in, toes out, facing the long length of your mat. Inhale your arms up and exhale down into that squat of the gods. Knees out wide. Chest is lifted. Can you lower your hips a little bit? Come back to your breath. Soften where you can. Inhale, straighten both legs, hands on your hips, lifting your chin and chest, and exhale, forward fold. Releasing your head and neck, maybe again your hands come down. Maybe they're on your legs. Both hands walk to the front of your mat, back to that runner's lunge. Front foot to meet the back. Inhale at the top, nice and slow, all the way down to your belly. Another round of those rows. Let's get that back again. Extend your arms. Exhale, drive your elbows down and behind, lifting your chest. Inhale, exhale, drive. Just 5 more of these. Last 2. Last one, squeeze. And relax. Making your way back to downward dog. Bend your knees. Make your way to the top of your mat, forward fold. Release your head and neck all the way. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale into chair. Press down to rise up. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Nice wide stance here. I'll go this way here for you. So heels in, toes out, a medium wide stance, not as wide as the squat of the gods. So we're gonna do some slow squats here, warming up our body to bring things up. So chest stays lifted as your hips lower and knees are pressing out. From here, lift up by pressing down through the floor. Like you're pressing the floor away from you. Inhale, exhale, press the floor away as you stand all the way up. As you inhale, knees are pressing out. As you exhale, drive the floor away. So there's strength coming and going. So adjust the width of your feet. If wide is too wide, if a narrow squat works better for your knees and hips. For some people, it might be parallel. It might be better to have your feet parallel. So play around with what works best for you. The important pieces are keeping your chest lifted, your spine like sliding down a wall, and your knees pressing out. Driving your feet down to press yourself up. Okay, let's pick up the pace a little bit for 10. Priming the pump, getting our body used to this movement. 3 more. 2, last one. Okay, now we're ready to take it up a notch. Moving away from movement with breath to movement to out of breath. So it's 20 seconds of work, followed by 10 seconds of rest, and there's 8 rounds. And the movement is intentional to get yourself out of breath, like sucking air for those 10 seconds. So we want 100% of effort each time. It's gonna be squats, all squats. You can add jumps, you don't have to, and the squats is your body, your depth, your 100%. Okay, I'm gonna change the music and get things going. The first beep on my timer is a get ready. There's the get ready. 8 seconds now. The next beep is a go. So it's squat, squat, squat. Here we go. First 20 seconds is kind of like dipping your toe into the water. How does it feel? Finding your 100%. It changes day to day. Your 100% today isn't going to be the same as it was yesterday. So be present in this moment. Find your 100% and stop. What's your 100% right now, today? Taking advantage of those full 10 seconds. Okay, here we go. Second round. If you want to add a jump, when you jump, land softly, maybe pointing your fingers and toes down to the floor, and crown of your head is lifting up, trying to put a head print on your ceiling. If you don't want to jump, if you don't want that much air, and rest. When you come up onto your toes each time. So you squat and come up onto your toes. Let's try that one. So imagine that you're jumping. Each time, press up on your toes as tall as you can be, trying to touch the top of your head to the ceiling. So check in with yourself at this point. Is this your 100%? Are you out of breath? How's your body feel? Check in and rest. Come back to your breath. Those long exhales. Even just thinking long exhales. Slowing it down. And amping it up. Here we go. The next 100%. This is it. Your body craves this movement. This is medicine for your joints, your muscles, your ligaments, your tendons, your blood, your lymph. And rest. Can you feel the party happening in your body right now? Woo. All right, here we go. halfway. So your body knows what to do. Don't have to think, now you can just do. Put your mind down and go with this movement. Keep pressing your knees out and driving your feet down as you stand up, all the way up. Nice and tall. Rest. Okay, should be getting a little hard at this point. 100%, every time, every time. Come up onto your toes, see what that feels like. Extend your spine, extend your legs. Crown of your head, reaching up, every time. Long and strong. We got this. And rest. All right, this is the second to last one already. This is the hardest, really is. So know that you're in it. You're in it right now, right where you're supposed to be. Let's do this. Yes, determination, intention, strength. All right, you guys, last one. 120%. Give it all. Whatever you have left, this is the moment. This is the time. This is it. Whatever you're holding back, this is the time. Nothing to hold back for. Just fly. Almost there. Can you pick it up a little bit right now? Do this with me. And stop. Nice job. All right, coming back to your breath. Come back to your center. Come back to different music. Whew. If you have some water, grab it now. Come back to your mat. And notice how you feel now. Maybe softening your gaze or closing your eyes and do an inward check. How does it feel in there right now? Keep that spine nice and tall, feeling the bottoms of your feet ground down as you rise up, and the space in between is your center. Come back to your center, to this present moment. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, palms touch. Slow your exhale down as you bring your hands to your heart center. And again, lifting your arms up, palms touch, and your exhale is long and slow, all the way to the center. Feeling the bottoms of your feet grounded. Shift your weight so all of it is on your right foot, grounded down. And you're still not long and tall from your foot to the crown of your head, still centered. Lifting your left foot, moving into tree pose, finding your foot either on your shin, maybe up to your thigh, pressing your bent knee back, but keeping your hips pointed forward. And keep that length from the bottoms of your foot to the crown of your head. Lifting up. Hands at your heart, or maybe arms up overhead. Softening your gaze, maybe closing your eyes. And shifting into warrior three. So your left leg extends long and your heart stays open, your chest is open as you hinge at your hips. Back heel's lifting and your toes are pointed straight down. So your hips are both pointed down towards the floor. And your chest is open just like baby cobra. From here, nice and slowly, those back toes touch down, finding high lunge. So the weight is balanced between both feet. Arms lift up or maybe hands at heart center. Draw your feet together, focusing on a point that's not moving. Maybe keeping that point in your mind's eye and closing your eyes. Notice how taking away your sight affects your balance. Options from here, you can keep your eyes closed or open them, and we're going to shift back into warrior three. Pressing forward onto that front standing foot, the back foot lifts, and the chest lowers. Nice and slow, all the way back up to standing. Both feet rooted and grounded. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Long exhale, hands to heart center. Second side, ground through the bottom of your left foot. Right toes lift, same options. On your calf or your thigh, your knee presses back, your hips stay forward. Keep long and strong from the bottom of your standing foot to the crown of your head. Option to close your eyes here. Shifting from tree into warrior three. Extend your right leg back as your chest lowers, hinging at your hips. So it's a long line from your lifted heel to the crown of your head. Bending your front knee, those back toes touch down, heel stays lifted, finding a high lunge. Draw your feet together. Again, same option, focusing on a point that's not moving, and maybe imagining that point in your mind as you close your eyes. Keeping your eyes closed or opening them, pressing back into warrior three. Slow through the transitions, balance with movement. Nice and slow and controlled, standing all the way, both feet down and grounded back to mountain pose. Feel the bottoms of both of your feet grounded, crown of your head lifting. Inhale, sweeping your arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to downward dog. Right heel lifts up and back. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Option to single leg plank. Option out of push-up. Knee to elbow. Three-legged dog. Inhale. Same thing. Take whatever option works for you in this moment. Single leg plank. Push up. Exhale. Knee to elbow. Three-legged dog. One more time. Knee to elbow. Single leg plank. Push up. Knee to elbow. Three-legged dog. Big inhale. Exhale, bring your front foot between your hands. Coming up into a high lunge. High lunge, we're going to project into warrior three. Same thing we did before in balance. This time the front knee bends, keeping everything else the same. I'll hold here at the bottom. Straighten back to warrior three. Bend that front knee, the back toes come down, finding high lunge. Big inhale. And exhale, we're going to twist, so hands at your heart. Twist your left ribs towards your right thigh, and then the left elbow finds the right thigh. So the twist comes from the ribs, not your elbow. Inhale here. Exhale, back to projected lunge. The back foot's going to step next to the front foot into chair, and we're going to twist the opposite way. So the right ribs towards the left thigh, and then the right elbow. Keeping your knees on the same plane. Inhale here. Exhale, unwind, and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to downward dog. We'll do the same thing, second side. Next inhale, lift your left heel. Exhale, left knee to left elbow, and pause. Same options. Maybe extend single leg plank. Maybe add a push-up. Knee to elbow, three-legged dog. Two more times. Knee to elbow, single leg plank, push up. Knee to elbow, three-legged dog. Last time. Knee to elbow, single leg plank, push up. Knee to elbow, three-legged dog. Bring your left foot between your hands. coming up into a high lunge. From here, warrior three. Nice and slow and controlled. Bend that front knee and hold. Press up, warrior three. Bend that front knee and the back toes come down to a high lunge. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. We're going to twist so the right ribs towards the left thigh. And then the right elbow finds the thigh. Really feel those ribs pulling across your body. Back to center, back to that projected lunge. The back foot steps to the front foot into chair. And twist the opposite way. The left ribs to the right thigh. And then the elbow. Inhale here. Exhale into chair. And forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back into chair, just a transition. Press down to rise up. Big inhale. Exhale, palms to your heart. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, downward dog. Winding things down. Inhale, lift your right heel up and back into scorpion dog. Bending your knee, heel towards your hip, and stack your hips. Whatever feels best to you with your torso, you can twist it, or you can keep it square down to your thigh. Or maybe gaze underneath your left elbow, see if you can see your right foot. Inhale here, and exhale into lizard pose. So the right foot on the outside of the right hand, the back knee comes down. Uncurl your toes. Inhale, rock forward, and exhale, half splits all the way back. Couple more times, each direction. That back knee draws forward, so it's a stretch and strength at the same time. So we don't leave our hip joints vulnerable by overstretching. We want to support them with our strength. And last time back. Plant your palms, find your way back to downward dog, however you get there, graceful or not. Same thing, second side, left heel lifts, bending at your knee, finding scorpion dog, stacking your hips. Same options, you can rotate your torso to the left, keep it straight down towards your thigh, or gaze under your right armpit, see if you can find your left foot. Inhale here, and exhale brings your left foot on the outside of your left hand and the back knee comes down. Inhale, rock forward, exhale, rocking back. Rocking forward and back 2 more times. Making your way to tabletop and then on the way to your bottom. So your feet swivel out in front of you. Rolling all the way down onto your back. Nice and slow. See if maybe you don't even need your hands. You can use the strength of your core, the strength of your center. Maybe your hands are on the backs of your thighs or on the floor to slow yourself down. See if you can feel one vertebra at a time as you bring yourself all the way down to your mat. Resting your head when you get there, stacking your ankles underneath your knees, setting up for bridge pose. Press down with your heels to lift your hips up. Your heels draw towards your shoulders, like you're trying to get them to meet. Your knees are pressing towards the front of your mat. Walking your shoulder blades together, so you're resting maybe on your triceps. Maybe your spine isn't even touching the mat at all. So the opening is across your collarbones and your chest. From here, see what you can relax. See where you're holding tension, where you don't need it. Maybe clasping your hands and pressing the mat away from you, opening your chest even more. Breathing into your chest, breathing open the front of your heart. If your hands are clasped, unclasp them. Place your shoulder blades back where they want to go. Come up onto your toes so your heels are lifted. Inhale here and exhale slowly, one vertebra at a time. Draw your spine towards your mat, resting your tailbone, resting your heels, and rocking your knees side to side. Draw both knees into your chest. Together, both knees drop to the right, left arm opens to the left. Maybe extend the top leg long. If this isn't your favorite spinal twist, take whatever feels best to you right now. Check in with yourself in this moment, in this present moment. What is your body asking for here as we wind down the last few minutes of class together? If it's not what I'm doing, do what your body needs. Coming back to center, both knees together, drop to the left. Maybe extend the right leg. Right arm extends to the opposite direction. And soften your breath. Soften your face. Soften your thoughts. Coming back to center, and if there's a pose that you like to finish your practice with, if there's an inversion or another twist or some other pose that you like, take the time to do that for yourself. I like happy baby myself. Holding onto the outer edges of your feet. Feet are flexed, knees are wide. Press your low back into the mat and then release. Maybe rocking gently side to side. Maybe extending one leg or the other if you have that mobility, that ability. Coming back to center, and then finding yourself in a resting position, a place that requires no effort, a place where you can just let yourself be. For the next few minutes, there's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. There's only simply to be. Letting your mind drift wherever it wants to, or inviting it to come back to center using your breath. It's a simple, mindful tool by counting your breath. Inhale to the count of 4 and exhaling to the count of 4. Maybe extending your exhale to the count of 6, or maybe even 8. Feel free to turn this off and stay here as long as you'd like. Or if you feel ready, coming back to your breath. Long inhales and longer exhales. Come back from wherever you've drifted away. This next exhale, maybe open your mouth and sigh it out. Extending your fingertips overhead. Toes reach the opposite direction as long as you can get. Inhale, And exhale. Draw your knees into your chest. Nice and slowly tipping over to the side and pressing yourself up. Using the strength of your arm and finding that comfortable seated position. The place we began. Lifting the crown of your head toward the ceiling and finding your center again. Coming back to center. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back to center. Being self-centered is the act of self-care. Filling yourself up, coming back to a place of grounded within yourself. Then nothing else can throw you off if you have your center within you. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this together. Together we are stronger. Together we are more. This is, I feel, an act of self-care and self-love. And the love in me sees and honors and is so grateful for the love